Hey folks, this is Barb Payne with Reimagine Resiliency, and along with EM Weekly, we are going to be presenting to you here our preparedness video on behalf of Preparedness Month, which is the month of September for 2021. It was about a year ago that we put out our videos, you can see behind me, on the go bag, what to put in it, what to think about putting in it if you're still missing some items, how often you should be looking at your go bag. And today what we're going to talk about instead is the no-go bag, okay? So this is an unofficial terminology, but we're gonna base it around the concept of evacuations. So a go bag is really, there's a million different definitions. If you Google go bag, you could go down the rabbit hole on this all day to see all the different companies and organizations that have their own version of a go bag. And when you think about a go bag, you're thinking about running out the door with a bag full of just the basic items to get you through maybe a 24 to 72 hour period, okay? So you've got a little bit of food, like granola bars, you've got medical supplies, you've got maybe some water, hopefully, flashlights, rope, just various items that if you're in a state of emergency might be able to help you. And so when I picture that, running out of a door with a go bag, it's a very small bag. It's not very big, and it's just, again, meant to get you through a couple days. But really what we're doing when we in the continental United States prepare for a natural disaster, it's more of an evac bag when you think about it. A lot of Americans have experienced evacuating from an area in preparation for, a hurricane coming, or folks that have no time to think about it, who are preparing to evac maybe in a fire situation, or whatever the case may be. So, depending upon the disaster, you may have a few minutes, you may have a few hours, a few days, but the bottom line is this, is when you're rushing and you're stressed and you have people in the house you're looking after, or you might be on your own and have a pet. You might have to pick somebody up that lives far away from you or lives close. It doesn't matter. But when you're thinking about your evacuation plan, which is really where the go bag belongs, is in the evac plan, you need to think about the no-go bag, right? The things that are going to bog you down, the things that you could create redundancies for, in order to be able to get out in an efficient way, right? So let's just take the most recent disaster, Hurricane Ida. It hit multiple states in various ways. Not every person that experienced Ida experienced the same type of disaster. But for most of the folks in the Southeast United States, they knew it was coming, and evacuation orders were put across the board. And so we know that a lot of people were in cars trying to leave and get to an area of the country that presumably had basic services. So let's just stop right there. When you presume or assume that an area has basic services, what are you talking about? You're talking about gas for your car, water, food, shelter, right? An area possibly for your pets, right? Hopefully a hospital or some sort of clinic. But that's the really big if. So say you're leaving Louisiana and you're heading northwest, and you're heading towards the Midwest, if you will, or even just a state over that isn't going to be hopefully affected by a hurricane. So there's an assumption that there are basic services, but what if there isn't? Okay, so where do you get food at? So you're looking at your emergency supplies, you're getting ready to leave your house, you're looking at all these canned goods and thinking, yeah, I'll take some of that. Do you really want to take a dozen cans of food with you? Can you imagine lifting that? Have you ever dropped a can of food on your foot before? I have done that. Not pleasant. So that's an example right there, your food. Because when you leave, you're presuming that you're going to be able to find food somewhere. But what if for 24 hours you can't? What if you've got somebody with you that has an insulin dependency, right? Or blood sugar issues. I mean, these are these little minute things that in a stressful situation when you're running out the door, you may not think about. So instead of taking a can of food, take dry goods, right? Take something that you can add water to, because finding and having clean water is going to be much easier than trying to track down food in a distressed area. So think about that. Okay, when you're looking around your house and maybe you don't have a go bag and you're thinking, oh my God, I've got to get out, but I don't have anything organized. What can I take with me? What if something burns up? What if something, gets flooded out and ruined? And when you're looking around your rooms and your house, you want to be able to think, can I live without this? Or if I can't live without whatever this item might be, is there a way to salvage it now and leave it? Meaning, so what if you've got a really nice big picture frame that with your family in it, and it's the only living document of this picture? You don't have it on iCloud, you don't have it, in a storage, you don't have another hard copy. So these are the types of little things that when you come back to your house and your house is upside down, it's a mess, you're not going to be able to salvage anything. What are the little things that are going to bog you down, the little personal items that you so hold dear, right? And we're talking about water as well. Water is one of the heaviest things to have and to transport when you have for storage. And so when you're thinking about the weight of things, the weight of the items that are going to help you get by until you're able to get back to your home, think about those things. What if something spills? What if you have a bottle of alcohol and somehow it spills in your car on your way to evacuation? Do you have backup for that? Instead of something that's liquid, maybe get a gel, like the sanitizers that are out there that are in gel form. So when we're talking about the no-go bag, do not end up bogging yourself down of things that will take up space, things that can have a redundancy attached to it, like pictures that can be taken, documents, or pictures of documents that can be taken. You want to keep things efficient, and you want to keep them, how we like to say, streamlined. So you're not necessarily, for instance, pushing everything off a table into a duffel bag because you didn't have time to organize it. So when we're talking about the no-go bag, the go bag is easy nowadays. There's so much information on it. But when it comes to doing that practice run, which you should be doing every single month with your family or yourself, with your pets, with the people that you're responsible for that are elsewhere, you should be doing practice runs to find out and to see, well, what's breakable? What if it spills could become toxic? Right? I mean, all the things that you need to think about of being comfortable somewhere else while you're waiting for evacuation orders to be lifted. That's the type of thing that you should be thinking about for you and your family, or for you and just somebody else, for you and your pet. And if you can't evacuate, what's going to happen when you go to a shelter that's nearby, right? Because those shelters come with basic necessities. So if you're going to a shelter, what are the things that you're going to need? Go through your bathroom, check them off the list. What if there are things that cannot be replaced and you don't have backup? 1 is none, 2 is 1, 3 is much better. So when you think about the no-go bag, rethink some of the things that you think that you need to take with you, that you just psychologically cannot live without, and ask yourself if you can. And if you still cannot, then figure out a way to make it redundant, and so you have copies or you have extra. Because really it's all about extra now. We learned that last year with toilet paper. Always have backup, and think about these things ahead of time, because you just don't want to get into a situation where you get somewhere and you're doing the dope moment when you could have had something with you. So as well as thinking about the go bag, think about your no-go bag and how you can rework it to be more efficient on your way out the door.